I thought I did most things like pretty solid. I didn't make too many errors. I moved well, high first serve percentage, and yeah, it was a solid match for first match back after sort of 4.5, 5 weeks. So I was happy. I started to feel good actually. Like just before the French Open, my back started to feel good. I felt my back felt fine throughout the French Open, through the grass court season. The only problem was that kind of before that I was able to practice, but not sort of train off the court, do the stuff in the gym that makes you physically strong, and that's something that these days you need. So when I was coming up against the better players, I was just lacking a little bit. But after Wimbledon, I went over to Miami and I really trained like I used to for the first time since the surgery, and I felt much better. Yeah, well, I mean, for me as well. I mean, I'm in the section with the #1 player in the world, but upsets happen. So I could lose my next match, and then maybe Novak thinks the section's better, or vice versa. It's it only becomes relevant if we end up playing each other in the quarterfinals, because if one of us loses, then you might say, well, the section's more open. But yeah, I mean, being in the section of draw with #1 player in the world, that hasn't happened the last few years based on the seeding and being in the top 3 or 4 players. So yeah, I've had it a couple of times this year in Miami. We played in the quarters as well. So it's a tough draw, but it's also good to play against someone like a Novak. If you get that opportunity in the build up to the US Open, you really see where your game's at.